Okay, Nick, we are on. Let me make sure that we have taken off the brand here. We are now live here at Metropolitan. We want to talk about call centers and Connects Hub. Thank you for joining us, Nick. I wanted to see if you could give us an update on how call centers can be successful, why companies should use Connects Hub software. What's going on? What are the, critical factors that make a call center successful?
Well, firstly, just you're looking very good after King's Day. How are the celebrations over there? Were they good?
Celebrations were fantastic. Lots of candy, a little bit of cold weather, but it was good the next day. Friday night was a bit cold because it was raining on everybody,
Ah,
but only the true of spirits came out and endured it to see the three wise men arrive with candies and camels.
no, I'm really interested. So, what is it with the candies and camels? This is because of this is a really unique Spanish thing. It doesn't really occur in the
Okay,
rest of
well,
Europe.
maybe this doesn't happen in call centers, but what normally happens is, we get these three wise men that arrive, and they do a cavalcade, like a what do you call a cavalcade? A parade around the
Yeah.
city, and they come and they are very generously providing the children that come out to see them and welcome them to Barcelona all kinds of candy. They kind of throw them out there, and you're supposed to catch them if you can. If you don't, most kids who are, they're tiny, they basically pick them up off the floor, so or off the streets, and you celebrate. You go home, you have some hot cocoa, some churros with chocolate, and you thank the your lucky stars that you didn't catch a cold and enjoy your, I guess the booty that you got.
Okay. So I asked because it's not something I'm familiar with, and everyone talks about it all the time. And I did a tiny bit of research before I came on the show this morning, so but good to know. And on the face of it, more exciting than call centers. So I think I think the well, candy for kids anyway. I think the key to the call center stuff is looking at what Connects Hub have been doing over the last year, and we spent some time circling back to look at our biggest customers and what made them so successful and why we were so indispensable with them. And
Okay.
that was the start of this reevaluation of call centers that we're doing at the moment.
And what
And
did your research find?
well, there's a couple of ideas, I guess. So voice over IP is the predominant tech in call centers at the moment, and which is great. There's nothing wrong with voice over IP at all, but it has limitations, particularly in countries where the things that voice over IP relies on aren't quite so reliable. What I mean by that, particularly, is internet availability, power availability, things like that. And some of our biggest customers are in parts of the world where those things aren't taken as granted. They're not always 100%. And what I mean by that specifically is places like Southeast Asia or South Africa, parts of South America. The call center industry is very big in those areas, but the infrastructure tech doesn't necessarily match up.
Okay. And is there anything that people should take away with that is the most critical success factor?
Yeah, I think there's one metric that's measured by call centers everywhere, and it's answer success rate, or seizure rate, some people call it, but it's the same thing. And essentially, it refers to the connectivity between call center and end user, if you will. So, if, for example, you're a call center and you work for one of your a bank is one of your biggest clients, the ASR refers to your success rate in contacting those bank's customers. So,
Okay.
essentially, am I at the call center agent able to get through? And if I can get through, is the quality high? Can I complete the call? Can I deal with the issue and leave happy customers behind me? And that's the view. So typically, industry wisdom says you need between 80 and 90% there. And the challenge is, for some of these call centers and their regions, they're sat between 45 and 50%. Which is,
Ouch.
Yeah, and that's not compatible with retaining customers, because if their customers are continually frustrated, then you're unlikely to get repeat contracts, even if you are cheap.
So I think you might have mentioned this, but why is there such a low success rate in the industry with this? If
well, I think there's a number of different reasons for that, and I think I guess what I blamed voice over IP. It's not strictly accurate. It's a first mile problem, and what I mean by that specifically is the initial connection between call center and the network, and there are lots of different things that affect that. They include network traffic, poor quality connection. There's a whole stack of things that sit next to that, and most of the things there are outside the call center's control, as it were. It's not down to the script or the effectiveness of the call center agent. It's down to the network and the inability, if you will, to make a valuable connection with the customer.
Okay, so how does Connects Hub tackle that specific issue?
Well, so our tech is very different to voice over IP in that we're cellular. So the first mile is made over a cellular connection, not an internet connection. And that's the critical difference, in that our connection uses very low bandwidth. It works on 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And it's not reliant on the availability of the network, if you will, in terms of space, quality, bandwidth, speed. We just rely on the cellular network, which is, in most cases, unimpeachable. It works really well. So that initial call, that initial connection is super high quality. And our customers are averaging somewhere in the region of 96, 97% ASR, which is substantially above what's considered to be a good rate. And as such, the loyalty is there, and that's, I guess, what we do really, really well.
All right, so you're getting a fraction of the price for voice over IP solutions for the first mile, with a much higher reliability rate. So
well, exactly. And I think there are knock-ons from that as well, Victor, which are quite important. We touched briefly on customer satisfaction, for example. There was a Microsoft study, I think it was 2021, from memory. Global State of Customer Service was the name of the report, and one of the outputs from that report was that 58% of customers are quite willing to end their product relationship over customer service that might fall short, and that's a pretty big deal, particularly for an industry that's trying to grow, as call center is in certain regions of the world. That's a pretty alarming metric. So essentially, if your quality is low and you get this part of your tech wrong, you're going to lose your new customers very, very quickly indeed. And I think that's really important. The other thing that actually we could point to there is our customers have a very, very low churn rate in terms of their own employee, their own resources, because not being able to place a call and not being able to achieve your metrics and drive your own revenue as an employee at these call centers, if you can't do that, then you'll be under pressure and you won't earn any money and you'll want to leave. And replacing staff on a continuous basis is a very expensive and disruptive procedure. So we solve that problem too.
Right. That's not something that I would have thought of in terms of, I guess, employee retention. So
well, I think, cool. To be honest, Victor, if we'd come to it cold, we probably wouldn't have thought of it either. But the feedback's come from our own customers. When we asked what were the things they're enjoying most about the service at the moment, it's not just the service itself; it's the knock-on effect to that.
And where do you see the most growth coming from for new call centers or evolving call centers?
Well, I think both actually. There are a number of potential pilots we've got coming up around new call centers, customers looking to open call centers in areas of the world where it's very cost effective to do so, and that industry is growing really, really quickly, but the call quality doesn't necessarily match up. So we're ideally placed to help with that. And I think the same applies to existing industries. So we'll take the South African industry, for example. That's a very established call center industry. It's very big, and yet I won't say it's failing. It's too dramatic, but it is definitely declining quite quickly now, despite of its size, because the call quality is so poor and the connection rate is low.
Wow. Okay. So they're leaving. Are these is the biggest low hanging fruit then to be taken at in emerging markets?
I think so. More so than established marketplaces. I think in particular, I need to be careful with that actually, because I think South Africa is an established marketplace, but it's outside of Europe, and one of the advantages that Europe has, for example, is great internet connectivity and great power availability. So the success rate is easier to maintain with existing voice over IP technology rather than using ours, which is disruptive and new. We have other angles that I guess give us competitive advantage everywhere, not just in I guess newly established call center regions. For example, the flexibility is very key. Using our technology, you just need a mobile phone and a laptop. You don't need infrastructure beyond that. So in times of pandemic or fluctuating demand, you can run call center staff and call center teams remotely as well, which is helpful. But back to your original question, yes, I think we are better suited at this moment in time in terms of our current outreach to areas like South America, South Africa, Southeast Asia, places where this industry is large, but the infrastructure to back it up is poor.
Okay. And is there any particular areas that ConnectSub is now focusing on as first steps?
Yeah, I mean, this for the first quarter of this year, we're putting a lot of emphasis onto potential partners in South Africa and South America specifically. But that doesn't necessarily preclude other areas like Australia or Asia. But South America and South Africa are very much on the focus.
And forgive me if this is the ignorance in this question, but say if I'm a traditional company that's commercializing products and services, and I don't really have much of a call center that hasn't been outsourced. Does ConnectSub then give smaller companies the ability to provide, good customer support as if it were a big call center, but because of its competitively priced?
Yes, and it's yeah, for sure. And I think that part of what we do is we offer this scalability, which is so wonderful. We can empower one single user to a 10,000 seat call center and anywhere in between. The same service, we offer the same service for everybody.
Wow.
And I think as there are other aspects to it as well, obviously for international and fast-growing businesses and SMBs alike, we offer the same thing, which is essentially any number on your phone. So if you have a mobile sales force and you need different numbers to make different calls to different groups of people, then that's what we offer. If you need a do-it-yourself call center inside your own office, that's what we offer. We have everything we do, Victor, is proprietary. So we have our own call center software, we have our own cloud PBX, we have our own systems, and as such, we're uniquely flexible. We're also a globally registered ISP, which while we're talking about products and offers and all the rest of it, it's difficult, it's easy to lose sight of. So we can carry traffic globally across the ConnectSub network.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And is there an area that within these more developed countries in Europe that ConnectSub has some success stories that it can share?
Yeah, we do very well with small and medium business. We are a UK registered company, but we look at the whole of Europe. We do particularly well here in the UK. We've got a stack of satisfied customers using this on an everyday basis. We can do other, really quite cool stuff as well around for example, ISDN is coming to an end in the UK, so your traditional phone line will be no more shortly. And here we can put your home phone number onto your mobile if you want, or your business landline onto your mobile phone. And that's something that we're doing now in the UK. We're able to do it immediately, and we'll be able to do it in other countries as well as that process accelerates around Europe.
Okay. Another quick question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Where is Connects Hub then focusing its efforts? Is it B2B or is it B2C?
Well, I think at this moment in time, we're going to focus on B2B. And the reason for that is we have limited resources insofar as all of our efforts now go into our engineering and our outreach. We'd rather spend money on that at the moment rather than an expensive social media marketing campaign, for example, to reach consumers. We do some cool stuff for consumers. We have a product called VIP, for example. VIP is a very nice product. It means that any consumer can download a new number from us on our app and use that as a shielding number, if you like. So you keep your original phone number as private for you and your loved ones, your close circle of friends, and you can give another number to DHL delivery or Amazon or dating sites or whatever floats your boat. It just keeps your own number private, reduces the amount of spam you get. So we can do that consumer stuff too, and we're very good at it. But I think the focus of our attention will be B2B over the next 3 months.
Okay. Well, I don't have any other questions for you now. I love these digestible pieces, things that Connect Up and then are looking up. You expect 2024 to be a good year?
It's going to be a great year. We have some pretty ambitious plans. I was reading through them this morning, and yeah, I mean they're punchy, but I think we've got a really good chance of making it. As in the numbers, we've got a really aggressive expansion plan over the next 3 years in particular, and there are some key metrics tied into that. But I think it's probably B2B that will provide the springboard, and we can approach the consumer productivity after that as well.
Okay, cool. And I understand that you're going to be participating in the Elite Business Awards this year.
Oh, we are. That's quite exciting, actually. We've got a breakout session. I say breakout, it makes it sound like it's in a meeting room. It's not. It's going to be on stage, and we've got some quite exciting content lined up for that. It makes me laugh because it is very exciting, and it's kind of it's not the normal, is what I would say. People are going to be surprised when they see the title, and I think we may have to put an asterisk in it as well for British sensibilities. But nonetheless, we're looking forward to it immensely. It's going to be good.
That's going to be in March?
13th and 14th of March, Victor.
Okay, right there in London. So I'll see you there
I hope so.
in mid-March. Anything else that we should know about Connect Hub for today?
Not for today, no. I think the message today and what I wanted to talk about, I guess, apart from Three Kings, what I wanted to talk about specifically was this call center stuff that we're doing. It's quite exciting. I think genuinely we're saving people tons and tons of money and adding a huge amount of value as well. So, that's good. Happy with that.
Okay, well, then I guess I will wait to see the new article coming out from Connect Hub soon. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. It's always great to have you here, Nick, to understand the developments.
No, pleasure. I'm having Spanish withdrawal, so I do need to come over and say hi and do the International Business Day stuff that you guys do as well. I'd like to come over and get involved in that again this year. So hopefully I'll see you sooner rather than later, Victor.
It's right around the corner. We have, I guess, the Mobile World Congress. So I'll definitely see you here.
Oh, yeah.
And
sure.
And it was a huge success last year. So let's go ahead and repeat that here.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Victor, thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.